Today I'm going to talk about a little bit about being charismatic in social situations and how to be that high energy person when you go out with your friends, out partying, out to networking events, or out on a date. And there's like a lot of mainstream advice on it, which is be loud, be firm, be hilarious, be funny, and be actively listening to people, have the right type of body language. Now, this mainstream advice, it's really good. These are like essentially great tools, things that you can pick up and start working on, and they would help you. But also understand this, that these things are more so like an outside armor, like they're external factors, which you can keep in mind and you can try to do those things as you are conscious of them. But you have to understand what essentially defines all these factors and why some people essentially are naturally good at these things, whereas some people, they do have to think of these things consciously and then they are able to bring out that energy. So it all comes down to who you are. Yes, the fault lies within you. No, I'm kidding. I would say the fault lies in me since I did not bring out this information sooner to you guys, right? It's like the Taylor Swift song, Hi, It's Me, I'm the problem, it's me. But basically, it will all happen because of who you are as a person. And who you are as a person, or who you are in terms of conversations, interaction, is essentially who you are while you interact with yourself. And I'm talking about the self-monologue that you have with yourself all day long. Now, I really want to emphasize on this because understanding this self-monologue is really important. It's this voice inside your head. You know how all day long we're just talking to ourselves? This voice inside our head, which is us talking and us listening. Now, don't you think this is kind of the biggest interaction we have in our lives? Like, we can talk to our friends for hours, we can talk to our parents, we can talk to our families, we can talk to, people we are in a relationship with. But who do you end up talking the most to? This inner voice that goes on inside your head. And your baseline energy is basically what this self-monologue is. So you wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, or for some lucky people, they wake up at 12 p.m. But basically you wake up and then you are going out to this networking event or a party at 10 p.m. and all day long you're essentially just interacting with yourself within your head. No matter what you're doing, this self-monologue keeps going on. And for some people, this self-monologue turns out to be really negative, really critical of themselves, really pointing out everything that is wrong within their lives or highlighting the negative aspects of their daily lifestyles. So if you're just beating yourself down all day long with, being self-critical, talking to yourself about how you're not doing good enough at your job or how you're not doing good enough while you work out, or tons and tons of things that you should have to do, and how you're like not rich enough, how you don't have enough money, how you don't have enough muscle, you're basically going to have a very low energy vibe. Now you can do whatever when you're going out and it would end up not working, or it would be such a fake thing that you put over your real self. And it's like women put makeup on their faces and guys put makeup on their personalities. So you go out and you're now you're trying to be loud, now you're trying to have the right body language, now you're trying to listen to people and be funny, and in the end that humor comes out to be self-deprecating. Like, you jeopardize yourself while you make those jokes, and even though you try to be loud, it's like that loudness is not like real. And anytime a situation happens which surprises you, which is something that was not planned, that baseline energy ends up spilling out. And this is how people get to see the real side of your personality. So I'm pretty sure you've seen people like that who, throughout the day, if you talk to them, their baseline energy is just very low, and they have, these conversations like, damn, I don't know what's going on with my job. I don't know, my boss is crazy, my manager is bad, the government is not doing good, and they didn't give me my paycheck. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in those things. I ordered this from this company and they gave me the wrong order that I placed. All day long what they're doing is that they're just highlighting everything that is negative in their life, and this is all they're thinking about, this is what they're obsessed with. Now when this person goes out at the end at the end of the day, he will try to drink, he will try to, smoke up, maybe he will try to listen to loud music to hype himself up, but that essential baseline is still there, and he knows, and somehow the whole world knows, that this is essentially a facade. So understand this, you don't have to be awesome while you're just going out and being social. You just have to be awesome all day long. And this is a massive call to action. Since you're already listening to the self-monologue that goes on inside your head, and since you're already a participant, you might as well be an active participant. And what I mean by being an active participant is that anytime you hear your thoughts turn negative, or anytime you start being too critical of yourself, stop it right there and flip that conversation around inside your head. I'm not saying you don't have to think about problems. I'm not saying you don't have to solve problems. I'm not saying you don't have to be truthful to yourself. You definitely have to do those things. But focus more on finding the solutions and taking action on the solutions instead of just thinking about how deep that fucking problem is. So be actively listening to yourself. See what your general mood is throughout the day and see what is essentially driving that mood, and find ways to get out of that mood. For a lot of people, it could be, working out. For a lot of people, it could be standing up and just taking a walk, or like making a joke about, whatever the thought inside their head was. But basically, question yourself anytime that negative self-monologue starts, and try to reframe it into being awesome. If there's problems, think of them as opportunities. If you have anxiety about something, think of it as being something that excites you, that thrills you. If you have like the toughest problems no one's ever faced, think how strong it's essentially going to make you once you get through those problems. So think of these things while you're having your self-monologue, and you would just have to low-key be honestly awesome all day long just while you're with yourself. If you're happy and you're fun and you're energetic and you're bold while you're alone, that's how you would be while you go out or while you meet other people. So pay attention to what you're thinking through all day long. And I'm not saying don't utilize all the extra tools as well. The extra tools are amazing. They're great tools. They will always help you out. Having the right tonality, being loud, listening to people, asking them interesting questions, having the right body language, all of those things will help you out. But what happens when you're put in situations which are sudden, surprising, and not as per the plan? That's when your real true self would start showing. And even if you hang out with people for a long amount of time, your true self would essentially start showing. So fixing that self-monologue is the way to actually be awesome, actually be doing good, be that person with the correct vibe, the right vibe who enhances other people's, energy while they hang out together instead of bringing it down. I'm gonna make a lot more videos on ways to fix that self-monologue because I think that it's really important, and that's something that defines a lot of things about a person's life. So stay tuned for that.